The difficulty in Breadboard View is that it's more art than part, and I can't teach you the art because it's just too difficult, and I'm not really that good at it anyway. Here we'll look at some diodes. This is the core round diode. Look at the light effect here. This is a different color from here. You can actually see the outline of the part going round the back there. Way difficult. Very artistic. This is my rectangular LED. Just 3 sides, 3 different shades. I can't teach you this advanced drawing stuff, but I can sort of teach you this adequate enough type of drawing. Another bit of conjecture in Fritzing is, do we make a part a graphical representation that makes it easy to use in Fritzing, or do we make a real life part? By graphical representation, I mean here we have this mega, and in a real mega the pins aren't at 100th pitch everywhere, so you can't actually plug it into a breadboard. If we grab this mega and we put it here, you see these pins line up, but when we come to here it's half a pin out. This is real life. So do we make an artificial part and move this headed over so that it lines up and it fits into a breadboard, or do we keep it real like it is, because in real life you can't plug it into a board? I would say for the real side, if you gave this to a child and he had the breadboard and he could see he could plug it into here in Fritzing, yet in real life he couldn't, he's going to have troubles. So I'm kind of erring on the real life situation. There's also another clue what the Fritzing writers intended. Look, if you move this here, we'll add a resistor. We'll join a wire from here to here. Green both ends. We'll add a bend point. When we connect the wire to here, it stays red. You can't connect a wire to the middle of a wire in real life, so you can't do it in Fritzing. If such a basic part like a wire is not fudged for convenience, I would say there's a good case that Fritzing parts should be realistic, and that's an argument for realistic parts. It also helps in drawing the part if you've already done the PCB view, because it's dimensionally accurate, so you could just use this as the basis for your breadboard view. Just change the colors and start adding all the stuff on top of it. I don't know why you do this, as there's plenty of ICs, but we'll continue on with our IC and duplicate this in Inkscape. Okay, we do the usual in Inkscape. Zoom into the bottom corner, File, Document Properties. We'll go for inch units because it's an old part in inches. First thing we'll do is the grids again. We go New, Inch, we'll go 0.1 on the X, but on the Y the pins will be 300th apart. So we'll go 0.3. Now we have to work out our offset. We'll go back to Fritzing. Okay, these pins are 40 thou wide, and the 300 thou runs through the center there, so it'll be 20 thou hanging over. So it'll be an offset of 20 thou. So we go back to that drawing, and we want to change Y to 20 thou. Half a mil. Again, it doesn't move, so we have to do that twice. 2. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in a grid for the body. You don't need to do this. You could actually draw the body and then just position it after, but it'll be a bit easier and clearer later on. Properties. New grid, we'll select that grid, go to inch. Now from the data sheet, the body is 800 thou, in the X and Y it's 270 thou, 0.27. Now we have to work out the offset. The body is 270 thou on a 300 thou spacing, so that'll be 30 thou. half of that is 15th thou plus the 20th thou, so it'll be 35th thou offset in the Y. Let's put in a dummy number so we can change that, 0.035. But now we have to add one thing, the center line in the middle. So we're going to half the Y spacing. And that'll give us our our center line. It'll make it easy to snap things on. We have a snap at 400 thou. We can change that to 0.4. We can put another double center line there to be safe. And that's about it. Now we go to our part in Fritzing, and we'll see this top is slightly smaller than the outside of the body. We'll say this is 10 thou here, and we'll say this is 30 thou here. So we come back to our document, and now we have to draw the top rectangle. Just snap it anywhere. Now we have to work out the size. Arrow select. Well, it's 800 thou minus 10. Minus 10 is 0.78 inches, and 270 thou minus 30 thou and 30 thou make 210 thou, 0.21. Right, that's our top section. We will now select the snap to the centers. We'll try to move that and snap it to the center. Snaps fine. Now we have to go to our stroke. Yes, we want fill. What color? We'll pick a grey, like an IC. Stroke style, we don't want any stroke paint, so we turn that off. And that's our top section. Next we have to draw this black line here and this one here. And that's a slightly different shade. And that's a different shade. Okay, so back we go. We'll right click duplicate. We'll pull that off there. We'll go arrow select. We have to change it to 800 thou. But because it's the top section, it'll be 30 thou, so 103. Then we have to convert it to a path object to path, so we can modify the ends here. We node select that. No, we'll keep that the way it was. We'll put it here. It's not snapping where we want. Turn off the snap to centers. It's a little bit short, so plus that in a bit. We'll just click on this one again. Looks like it shrunk when we changed the stroke. That was the thing you have to look out for. So we have to go back to 0.78 by 210. With the center snap on. Snaps right. Small gap, this needs a bit of adjustment. So we'll do it the easy way with the arrow select and go up to 0.75. That looks alright. Now we have to make another grid for this center box so we can snap to these corners. So it's File, Document Properties, Grids, New. Pick the third one. We are in inches. Our top part was 0.21, 110th thou. Our X was 0.78. So now we have to work out the Y offset. It was 20 thou to 300 thou line, plus 15 thou, that's 35, plus another 30, so it'll be 65 thou on the Y. And it'll be offset 10 in, so again, put a dummy 1 in, 0.01, and that does that. Now we will node select our path. We can convert it to a path. Now we want to move this point and snap it to there. So we'll turn off our centers and cusp snap, and it snaps. Same with the other end. Change that to a lighter color. Select too light. That's okay. Right click, duplicate. Pull that off. We'll transform it and spin it round. Rotate. 180 degrees. Apply. We'll grab it. Snap it there. It's nearly black, so we'll select black. Okay, now we do the ends. We'll right click on this and duplicate. We'll lift that up there. Now we have to make it 270 by 10. So the width will be 10 thou. The height will be 270. Just grab that, put it here. We'll go path, object to path, node select, grab the node, pull it down till it snaps, lift that one up till it snaps. We want that black the same as the bottom, so we just press black. Now we'll right click and duplicate. We'll arrow select, move that. We have to rotate that 180. Apply. Put this over here. Now we want a shade between here and black, and lighter than this thing. Actually darker than the top. Yep. And that's the body. Now we'll tackle the pins. First thing I see a mistake here. Our first grid should be in the middle here, starting at 50 thou. So we'll go File, Document Properties. Our first grid, the X offset will be 50 thou. Put a dummy number in there first. That's 50 thou. This dummy number first thing is only if you change units. If this thing opens in inches, you can type straight in here. The first time it'll work. But if it's millimeters and you change it to inches or anything else, then you have to put a dummy number in first until they fix this problem. Okay, we'll close that. Now to the pin, we'll want a silver pin that's 20 thou. It's 40 thou width, so it'll be 20 thou overhang, so we want a 40 thou square. Pick a rectangle, just drag it anywhere. Go to fill and stroke, there'll be no stroke. The fill, we want silver. We'll go to arrow select, we'll change this to 40 thou. We'll grab this and snap's not on. We'll turn on the snap. Still not snapping. Turn on our snap to grid. There we go. Right click, duplicate. Drag another one here. Control D, same as in the other one. I'll fast forward the rest. That's our pins. Take a look at our drawing. We're going to make this odd triangle-y, polygon-y thing. So we'll go back to Inkscape. We have to go File New because we need to set this on a total new grid. Okay, zoom in a lot because this part is tiny. It's going to be 80 thou by 20. Back to the grid. Grid's new. Inch. We'll be going on the X spacing. We'll say it's 80 thou wide, but we need like an indicator every 20 thou, so we'll go 20 thou. And the Y spacing will say 20 thou high, but we need an indicator in the middle, so we'll say 10 thou. Okay. Now we draw a rectangle, 20 thou by 80. We'll go to stroke style, no stroke, fill. We'll pick that light silver again. We'll go to path, object to path, node select. To make the sides, we'll drag that. That'll do for our shape, so we'll go edit, select all, edit, copy, back to the new document, edit, paste. That looks good enough for this example. Duplicate. I'll just continue that. We get to the end one and duplicate it. We'll bring it up here, rotate it 180. It's fine. Drag it down here. Snap. Control D. Fast forward the rest. And that's all our pins. Now, going back to this drawing, we need a circle here. So I'll pick circle, hold the Control and Alt down, click on a point, drag to another point. It's not important. We want fill, no stroke. Arrow select, we want to lock that, and we want something small, about 40 thou. Just pick that up, drag that new pin 1. It's gone a bit snap happy, so we'll just turn that off. Make it dark. Now we'll go back to our Fritzing. Okay, I'm not going to draw this half moon, half one shade, half the other color circle. You can look up the tutorials online on how to do that. This text here, I think we'll put this text in here, but do it a different way compared to last time. So we'll come here, go back to our text. We have our orcas. Looks like it could be a bit bigger. Maybe a bit bigger. We'll type in IC, but this time we'll arrow select and we'll go path, object to path. This text format has now been changed to a path. So if we open the XML editor, we'll see here these paths. You can't edit them afterwards. You can't just change the letter on it because now they're a path. They're not in a text format anymore. So we lose that format, but hopefully it'll go straight into Fritzing without having to move the PX entries in the XML of the core file. Okay, now we have to do our connector pin labeling for it to auto assign in Fritzing. So we'll click on the first pin. It's this one here. The usual name, connector 0 pin, copy that, set, and then we'll do the second pin and we'll just continue on, and I'll fast forward. Sorry, I had to restart Inkscape because I had another open Inkscape window with a floating XML editor, and it started duplicating everything on there and you couldn't read it properly. Okay, we have all the pins assigned. Now we'll select the one pin, and you probably won't have to do it in this case, but we move this to the, if there's like a line or something over the top, you want to move this to the top, so you just press that button and select one, go to the top, and you see they get stacked down in order, because the bottom of the XML table is the top layer of the drawing. I'll just fast forward the rest. Okay, we have all our pins to the top of the bottom of the XML table. Come up to the top and click on layer. Now everything is in this one group, so I'll just rename this to save time. Breadboard. set. While we have everything selected, we'll fit the page to resize on the drawing. Edit, resize page to drawing. Yep. Now we'll save it. Plane, BB test 1, save, replace. Now we'll load it into Fritzing. We right click, edit our IC, go file, load image, BB test 1. That's our IC in there. Number 1 is selected down there. Number 16 there. Everything seems fine. File save. Okay. Drag our part on. And it crashes because I had other cases of Fritzing open. Restart. We'll ignore that. Breadboard view. We'll go to our IC. Bring it in. Fits fine, connects, everything looks okay. As you can see, the more you know about drawing in vector programs, the easier this is and quicker it is. But in actual fact, I'll rarely be doing one from scratch like that. I'll mainly be modifying something else. I'll just quickly run through how I modified the LED. I grabbed this original part, edited, saved it as a new part because it has bendable legs in there and I don't know how to code that. Then I just removed all the red stuff and kept this bit here in the center. Right? Then I straightened this leg. Then I just put a red rectangle over the top, and you saw how we blended the sides there and changed the shape of the things and changed the shading. And we put that in there, and that's how I made that part. So that pretty much covers all of Breadboard View.